Good morning. It's Sunday, and as you know, on Sundays, I get on here, talk about a moment in marketing or a moment in business anyway, those micro moments that we have. If you don't know me, I'm Pip, and today I'm going to talk to you about the MIT. Yes, the MIT. The MIT is called the most important task. It is a goal strategy we use around here. And I wanted to bring it up because last week we were talking about goals in the Facebook group and we got really into it. It was really fun. Let me change my scene here. Bing! Like the Christmas tree. I thought that was really fun. Um, if you're joining me today, here now live or on the replay, send some love, say hello, and tell me if you do goal setting. So, why I wanted to talk to you about this today is because in our business, we do something called the MIT, which is the most important task. And let me see if I can bring that back up on screen. Hold on. Check it out. The MIT. Let's try this now. Ha ha ha, right? Okay. Maybe let's move it around if I can. Interesting. Here we go. Okay. So last week in the group, as I said, we were talking about goal setting, and I said this phrase about how goal setting really starts after you've picked your goal. Good morning. Is that you, Gwen? I'm wondering if that's you joining me. Anyway, tell me if you do goal setting and if you don't. I'm going to talk to you about the MIT. This is something we do in our business, and it really works well with goal setting. It's a way to manage your days. So if you struggle with time management, or if you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, and sometimes at the end of the day, you wonder, wow, what did I do today? This one is for you. Let me tell you, we started doing this kind of on a whim. I'm just looking for myself on here. We started doing this on a whim because, you know, oftentimes in our business, oh, morning, Mona. Often in our business, we were feeling like, God, what did I do today? And we were running around and we just didn't feel accomplished, and it sucked. And so, because I work in analytics a lot and in AdWords, you set up goals in there. And so we thought, okay, how can we do our days better where we feel like we're accomplishing something, we're tackling our hardest tasks, and we're not missing things that we, because we run through the day, right? So we came up with the MIT. I originally called it the MIP, most important projects, but MIT works way better because you're kind of catching things in a MIT, right? So your MIT works along with goal setting. So say you've set a goal already for the year, and now you need to be able to track it, but you need to be able to track it in a really easy way. And you also want to track your daily tasks and what the most important things are. You really want to put that forward. When I talk about this now, realize that there's something called the whirlwind. And this happens to us all, and I know you felt it too, which is, you start your day, you know what you're going to do, and then, oh my God, the phone rings and a client wants something, or you have to do something, or something breaks, and all of a sudden, the whirlwind has taken over your life. Well, this happens all the time. And it takes up 80% of your life. Like, no lie, when you look back at the year, 80%. So a really good way to deal with this is first know that the whirlwind exists, and know that when you're planning, plan in a certain way. So every morning around here, what we do is we go through a list of 5 things. And we do it every day. And we actually work with a couple other people and we send each other emails. Um, and there are five really simple questions, but they really matter. And the 5 questions are, the first one is, what did you do yesterday that you were happy with? And you got to write these down. One sentence, or you could take the list of tasks you have. I'm going to have a blog post with an example of this. But you detail out like what you did yesterday. And if you're doing this on a day-to-day basis, you're going to see some patterns. So it's really great. And if you do this, you can also ask yourself, what did you miss? Because you wrote down what you did yesterday and the day before and the day before. So the first 2 questions, what did you do yesterday? and what did you miss? Now, they're not the most important questions, so you can change this any way you want. But the third question is one of the most important questions, and it's, what are you working on today? So what we do is we actually write down all the most important tasks that, like, we look at our calendar and be like, oh, okay, I got to get this done and this done and this done. And we actually put the time in brackets beside it. So we can say, okay, that's going to take 2 hours, because you want to chunk tasks, right? And so you write down what you're doing today, and that can be, 3 to 5 things. And then the next one is you write down what's not working for you, or what are you struggling with. This really helps to, actually, a lot of the time you have to sit back and ask yourself, like, what am I struggling with? Where am I having trouble? And is it affecting how I do things? And if you ask yourself this, and actually maybe look at your calendar or just self-reflect for a minute, this will really help you, because the very next question is, how are you going to manage that? And so you have to come up with a solution, whether it be for the day or in the week or overall in general. How are you going to manage what you're struggling with? We all struggle, right? Right? Okay. So then you write down one good thing about yesterday or today. Now, why do we do this? Because we need to feel good, right? God, we need to feel good, especially because we work really hard and it's hard to remember. And if you actually embed this into what you're doing and you ask yourself one good thing about yesterday or today, you'll walk away from this little task that you do every morning feeling pretty good, because you'll be reminded of something pleasant and lovely, right? So asking yourself what you struggle with and one good thing are the two kind of end things that you tie it up in a bow. And yeah. And then the next question is, and what's next? So you write those things down, and the best way we found to do it is find a friend and exchange this. So send an email with the 5 questions answered and just call it the MIT, send it back and forth each day, and it'll really help you. Now, why this comes up with goal setting is oftentimes we set goals at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year, and then by the end of the year, we don't even pay attention, and we're lucky if we complete them. And sometimes we do, because they're in the back of our heads. If you combine your MIT, your most important tasks, daily, 5 days a week, maybe not 7, take 2 days off, and you combine that with your goal setting. So for me, for instance, I want to get more fit. So I need to make sure that I'm, if I commit to going to the gym, say 4 times a week in the morning, it's going to be on my MIT under my personal section, not my work section. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to be able to track it, because I'm tracking my days. And the most exciting part about all of this is that we have done this with myself, Phelan, and a couple other people that we've worked with and friends. And so we're all sending each other our daily MITs. And not only are we sharing our experiences with others, and they can see what we're working on and what we struggle with, but it's worked so well. We're actually going to make a desktop app. Super exciting. Phelan's going to make it. Idea was mine. So it's team effort, right? But so we're doing that because we find that this really helps us understand what's going on in our day. It helps us keep track of what we're missing. It helps us feel good about what we're doing, because we don't get lost in the whirlwind. Although it might control 80% of our life, it is not controlling 100%. And so therefore, not only can we manage what we're doing and be successful, but we can also see where we struggle. And I think that's huge. Do you do something like this? I see Mona's here, Phelan's here. Morning, Phelan. So that's what I wanted to talk to you today about, because we're coming to the end of the year, and I'm sure if you're like me, you're going to goal set. And I'm sure if you're like me, you ask yourself questions like, well, what was successful last year and what wasn't? Other interesting and fun things to do, a couple tips for you, are when you're goal setting, sometimes if we want to take on something new in our life, we need to get rid of something. So, not only asking yourself, what do you want to accomplish, but also ask yourself, what do you need to get rid of? What do you need to stop doing so you can fit new things into your life? So you can find what's going to work for you, because we can't just keep on taking on things, right? So for me, one thing I'm going to get rid of next year is watching Netflix in the evening more often than not. So I'm probably going to split it up with maybe some learning, structured learning at the end of my days, maybe learning that's passive. Because in the evening I'm not as up on my game as usual, or play board games or play cards instead of watching TV, maybe listen to an audiobook instead. So those are things that I'm going to try to take on, and things I want to get rid of. Okay, I said the Netflix thing, but also I want to get rid of some of the arduous tasks I do, like putting the blog post or putting video up on YouTube that I've actually published on Facebook, things like that. So things I can farm out to other people are going to help me. So goal setting is a helpful way to strategize about life. And don't get me wrong, I am not perfect. I am just growing my business. But we've been really successful for ourselves this year. We've had so much fun. I've ended up doing speaking engagements. I'm getting paid to do speaking engagements. We've made more money than we've ever made before at our company. We're 4 years in. Phelan came on board full time this year, I think in the middle of the year, end of year, and so we're doing great. So we're having so much fun. Mona, what are you saying? You're saying, you've moved 1 hour. Let me move the tree. Woohoo! Midday. Interesting. I do my best learning in the morning. Like I do. I get up at like 5:30 in the morning. I'm going to try to implant exercise in there, like a little bit of stretching before I go to the gym. But um in my morning, it's the best time for me to learn. I really take it all in. I did my display training with Google first thing in the morning, and it was so fun to do those little tests and get a score back, and then by I think the fourth or fifth day I was doing it, I like accomplished that. I had passed. I have the accreditation. It's the best time to learn. It was really fun. I don't know about you, but next year I really want to have a fantastic year. This year has been great. I want to up my game, do really well. We're going to be launching the course again. Might be the last beta we do. And we have a different structure. We're kind of going to embed in that, and then take on more client work. I've actually joined a networking group, and so I'm going to take it to the limit. I got to catch up to my brother, who is a real estate agent and makes a lot more money than me, and I'm always trying to catch up to him. I don't know if I ever will, but he's quite successful. And I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun having my own business. I was talking to Phelan this morning. I think one of the greatest things is I can choose when I'm going to take time off. Not that I take much time off, but I do enjoy what I'm doing. So sometimes it doesn't feel like work, but I can take that time off. I can grow. And I don't know if any of you know this, but one of the reasons I went out on my own was I worked for a company that wasn't treating their clients properly, and I had a lot of crappy bosses over the years, and I'd love to name them, but I can't be so rude because they are online. But wow, I am not the cookie cutter corporate girl that can fit in that way, and so fabulous that this time in our lives that we can start our own businesses with little overhead, and just really dig in. I've only been in this 4 years, and I'm sure I have a long way to go, but you guys have been so supportive and so kind and so loving. And did I say Merry Christmas yet? Merry Christmas. Next year is going to be an amazing year. If you would like to take part in the MIT, and Mona, yes, woohoo, right? If you would like to take part in the daily MIT, We're still doing the emails back and forth. It would just be me and you, and we would exchange an email. And that email might help you. And if it does, that's exciting. If it doesn't, you can drop it like a hot stone, right? But it is something we do. Now, I will have that blog post up next week, which will give you a exact look at what the MIT is. But if you're into goal setting and doing amazing things next year and you want to join me on this journey, ask me about the MIT, send me a comment in Messenger. Mona, thank you so much for joining me today. And anyone catching the replay, send some love. Tell me what you think of the MIT. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you not? Would you do it? Would you avoid it? And so that's my marketing moment today. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy holidays. I'll be going in the group in a couple minutes or an hour or two to do the Go Live Sunday. So take a chance if you don't know about that in our Facebook group. We do a Go Live Sunday where you can go live, get some practice with live video in a trusting and safe environment where people actually care. Anyway, have a great day. Happy holidays. Do you like my tree? My tree. Oh, yeah. All right. Bye.